Hi, everyone. As you know, I'm Amuri Amin, and I am here not about the NRIs. I'm here to talk about how my videos may be delayed in coming out. I missed an episode last week, and that's because I am dealing with a personal matter, and I'll tell you what it is. So, about 2 weeks ago, I went to the doctor. I had a follow up appointment, and what they thought was a return of fibroids is a mass. And so, if you follow me on TikTok, you already know this story, but there's a mass on my right ovary, and it is 11.5 centimeters. I think it said centimeters. I have to look back at it. Yeah, it's 11.5 centimeters. And I'm able to smile and find joy because just like on the NRIs, it's my journey. It's how I have to move forward. It's part of my purpose. So with this mass, I had been already experiencing, like, when I eat, I feel full so fast. Weight loss, I've lost uh, 26 pounds over the course of almost a year. But the way that I would have to lose weight is to not eat. And that's not healthy. So every time I eat, it's like I gain. And it doesn't matter. I'll be eating salads and my weight is just maintained. It's not lost. And it's like, oh, eat less than 1100. Yeah, I would. And still it would stay. I would have to literally eat nothing to lose the weight. And so, anyway, I did my normal visits, and that's how we found the mass. Because I planned on going to Kenya for a month. So I was going to front load all these Inner Eyes videos because I was going to be in Kenya for the month of June, living it up. Those that know me know it's a must that I travel to Africa once a year. It's just part of me, right? So I get that diagnosis after getting ultrasounds, and I have to take a test, a CA125 test. And I should pull up my um, app that I have. But it was a CA125 test, and it read at 172, which it said high. 172 isn't as high as it could be, but CA125 is a test of cancer markers. And so I'm just pulling up the MyChart app right now. I don't have to be so formal as I do within the odds. I'll just do what I do. Do what I gotta do. Break her heart. So I did all of that. It's the cancer antigen. And so it was 175 and I'm sorry, 172. And my OB said, hey, she told me over the before I even got the test. When she had me in the office, she said, she said, because I see it and I see material there and it's of concern for me. If depending on what the results are, I'll have you go to an oncologist, a gyno oncologist. And I was like, fine. Can I still go to Africa? She was like, I would move that trip. Fine. She was like, maybe, but I know it's a once in a lifetime trip. That's actually what she said. And I said, well, I live there and I go once a year. So I've lived several lifetimes. So anyway, and we laughed about it. So anyway, it was 172, and she responded back, as discussed, given elevation in pelvic tumor, we'll refer to a GYN oncology for further evaluation and treatment. So that's what we did. And then that was on a Monday, and I had some other appointments because remember, I was front loading all of these yearly exams before I would go to Kenya. So I had other appointments that I needed to do, mammogram, did that, always have to take an extra one right after because of a breast reduction surgery that I had. Did that, everything's all fine there. Don't worry about it. Did all my blood work for everything. Like my blood panels are fantastical. Fantastic. Except for my iron. Sorry, iron. And then I also had earlier, like, oh, your blood pressure is elevated. Like it was very elevated. I don't have blood pressure issues. So that should have been like an indicator of something going on, but whatever. Started taking blood pressure pills. Everything is great. Right. Anyway, so I go to the oncologist in between getting that diagnosis with the mass and going to the oncologist. Why did my granddaughter give me strep? Okay. What a time. Had to take antibiotics. But anyway, so I get to the oncologist. I'm just looking at my chart. So I get to the oncologist. We talk. Um, she and I discuss possibilities. She said, looking at it, it could be maybe a fibroid that attached to your ovary. Maybe your ovary collapsed. Or, we're going to work with it as though it's early stages of ovarian cancer because that's also with your antigen test. And I said, okay. But they can't biopsy on that part of the body. So that was fine. Before I went to the OB, one of the things that has exhausted me is not OB, before I went to the oncologist. One of the things that does exhaust me is helping other people deal with this emotionally. So, of course, I had to tell my children and my close friends, and I had to tell my mother. My mother was the hardest one. Um, yeah, she was the hardest one. Just I knew how her reaction was going to be, which is why I missed last week's Inner Eyes video because I was in North Carolina telling her. So, having to not orchestrate, but having to work with other people's emotions while dealing with this myself is a lot of work and it is exhausting. Exhausting, exhausting. Anyway, um the um oncologist orders the CT scan and also some other cancer blood tests. So no to colon cancer. I'm good on that. There was something else, but I don't know if it has even come in yet. Oh, whatever it is, it was normal. I forgot which one it was. It was normal though. I looked up what the numbers meant. So then next the CT scan. Now, I've never had a CT scan before. I've had an MRI because I've had fibroids before. If you've ever dealt with uterine fibroids, you know that they are a beast. So around 2010, I had a uterine fibroid embolization. Um, but they also had to get others out, cut them out, because there was one that was the size of a grapefruit pushing up against my bladder. It was just terrible. It was terrible, terrible, terrible dealing with that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. You can look that up. But yeah, it was terrible dealing with that. So I had that done in 2010. Um, so when she said, um, hey, what would you like to do? And I said, cut it out, cut it all out. That was in that first meeting. I said, cut it out. You can throw it in the Atlantic. I don't need it. I'm 52. I've wanted this done since 1998 when I had tubal ligation. Like, I have not wanted children after my last one. I'm great, right? So, yeah, I said, toss it. My daughter was like, release it. So anyway, with the CT scan, I went in, and because I've never had it, I took my youngest daughter with me, who has an undergrad in biology. So she was talking to me saying, "Hey, so it's gonna feel like you are peeing yourself, okay? With this mass, my uterus is enlarged, and it's pushing up against my bladder." So it already feels every little while that I have to go to the bathroom. So, whatever. So I went in there and to have to do this psychological dance of feeling like you're wetting yourself and actually having to go to the bathroom was insane. It was psychological gymnastics like no other. But I got that done and then I received the results of that. And so there seems to be some mat tissues on, what is it called? It is called the, anyway, I'll read this to you. Lungs normal, heart normal. I'm not gonna read the other word. Liver normal, gallbladder normal, pancreas normal, spleen normal, adrenal glands, guess what? Normal. Kidney and bladder normal, GI normal. The appendix, they don't see appendicitis. So, but there's irregular soft tissue densities within the anterior of the mesentery. Anyway, the part that holds in your organs, where my small intestines are, and so there's some tissue there. So, I have another appointment along with I have the mass. So it talked about the mass. It talked about how big my uterus has become, all of that, which is a heterogeneously enlarged uterus measuring 12.2 by 14.4 by 7.5 centimeters. Plus, it talked about the mass too. So essentially, I have an enlarged uterus and I have this tumor. Um, that's what it says here. On it. So that's what's happening. I We'll talk about it some more. How am I feeling? So I feel glad to know what's happening, to be honest. It's not so much I'm nervous about the after. And what I'm nervous about the after is how much activity can I do? Like how much pain will I be in? That's the thing. So that's what I'm nervous about the after, as well as everyone that's going to be here. You know, how much may they get on my nerves? No disrespect to anyone, because I know it's everything is out of love. However, it will need to be a time of recuperating, and I don't want to have to navigate everyone's emotions, and I don't want to have to regulate mine either, right? I'm recovering, so I shouldn't have to have all those thoughts on my mind. I will not definitely not be working for signing in to work. So I work a 9 to 5. So I'm a IT program manager, and I will not be signing in at all during those 2 weeks. My VP he's a senior VP, and he's very adamant. He was actually the first call I made after the GYN told me what was going on, and I needed to get the cancer antigen test. And I was telling him, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. I've known him since 2016. I actually first met him 2015. But then I reported to him in 2016. So it's been long standing. He knows my children. I know his wife and children, all of that, grandchildren, my grandchildren, everything. So he is very understanding, and um, wants me to heal however long that I need. But it will be 2 weeks before minimum before I even sign in and look at anything. So that's fine. I have backup. So I'm good with that. How else do I feel? Free. And the reason why I say free, and I thought about this yesterday, is because there's finally some answers to why, like when I eat, like my digestion has been weird, and I have a colonoscopy scheduled for in July. So I was like really I met with the what is he? I don't know what kind of doctor it is, but I met with him to do my consultation for a colonoscopy, right? So because I'm like something's not right there. Let's go ahead, get our colonoscopy done. Let's see if it's polyps. What could it be? But now we know what it is. And so that lets me know also hormonally why it has been so hard for me with weight loss. What is happening? Why do I have to damn near starve myself? And so we found out the why. And that is freedom. Having the why is freedom. Um, do I feel fear? No. Do I fear death? No. If you have followed me for a long time, you know that, my ancestors are with me always. I don't see death as a door that just is an ending. I see it as a next transitional phase. I don't see it for myself anytime soon. It's just a this is a journey, this is a path that I have to move through, and even sharing it will help others, and it has helped others to make their appointments. Don't be afraid. When you find anything, it opens the doors for understanding of what's going on with your body. It also provides relief. Like all of those tests, because I was like, is it diabetes that's making me have to go to the bathroom so often? No, that's all fine. It's something that's pushing up against my bladder. That's why I have to go to the restroom, right? It helps you stop doing all of those worst case scenarios, right? And so that's where I am now. So it's being treated as ovarian cancer. I will have pathology reports. Um, and if that's exactly what it is, then it's the early stages that things have been caught. My lymph nodes are good. And so we just move forward in this path and in this way of treatment, this line of treatment, getting rid of everything, throwing it into the Atlantic. Well, they're not going to throw it in the Atlantic, but they'll probably throw it into biohazard bag. But yeah, that's where we are now. The surgery is scheduled soon. So I'm going to try to front load some of these Inner Oz videos, and I'll let you know how it is on the journey. I'm still making soaps. So I make soaps, holycrown.com. Holy Crown is a company that has bath and body products, as well as the videos, as well as my book. Um, and so it's a lot. And then I'm going to try to front load as much as possible with my daughters during the delivery. I have a Juneteenth soap that I'm going to make next week, and a Pride soap that I'm also going to make next week, along with all the others. So that's how I feel. I feel like it is as it is. Um, if I sit and I try to be worried, then that's when worry will come. And I really would have to try to be worried. It's it's not there. So I would have to try. I would have to conjure it up, and that's not something I want to conjure up. I want joy to always be present. I've been tired, and I'm tired just because I'm emotionally drained, because my phone will ring. Like right now, I have it on Do Not Disturb, simply because I want to be able to concentrate and just have some quiet time. My daughters are away in El Paso for the BTS concert. They should be BTSing it up right now. And so they are doing their own thing, and I'm proud of them. And Africa for the year is not denied for me. It's just delayed. I might go to see Jill Scott in Cape Town, which is something that I wanted to do anyway. So just moving the flight over to there instead of going to Kenya. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that, let you know what's happening, if there's a delay or a slowdown in the recordings, and why last week there was one. I am thankful. I am eternally blessed and grateful. Um, yeah, and I know that I'm protected. And just you know that you are protected in your journey that you are walking through, in all that can happen. It might not be a tumor that's sitting on your ovary. It could be anything in your life. There were massive layoffs of Spirit Airlines recently. There's so many things that people go through, great in size, or even it seems like compared to other things, it could be small, but how it affects you, it could be great. And there's no minimizing it for you. And just know that it's the opening. When we go through these things that can be utterly devastating, if it's allowed to be so, it's an opening for something else. It's an opening for more. It's an opportunity that is waiting you. And you might not be able to see it right then. Because in the moment when I was going through the first initial, and this has only been happening now, what, 2 weeks, almost it'll be 3 weeks on Monday. So will it? Monday to Monday is 1 week. It'll be 2 weeks on Monday. It's just been so much. So for 2 weeks, when it first everything was first going on, it was like, okay, I don't see this as an opening yet. I just see it as it is what it is. That's really how I felt about it. Okay, it is what it is. And then as I kept moving through and processing, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where, all right, as I talk to people and they're like, oh, I'm doing, because of this, I'm going to do this. Because I hear you saying this, I'm going to go do this. Or a way for me to know what's actually happening and why. Didn't matter how much I went to the gym, how many miles I walked. As soon as I ate something, whatever. And so even just like a salad. And so it it gave answers. It finally was like it made everything click. And also it is an opportunity for me to slow down. You're like, "What?" Yeah, cuz I will be healing and I can slow down because I'm always going, going, going. And now is the time to sit my behind down and allow restoration to happen within. So, anyway, I'm going to go. I have to go upload the episode 9 that I just finished and go do some other things. But thank you so much. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.